To finish mounting the transmission, we need to move forward with the rear bumper and body mount assembly. I'm doing the smaller rear bumper assembly. I'm not doing the extensions that come out to either side with the mud flaps. Since this is going to be a race vehicle, I'm almost tempted not to use the bumper at all, but I am going to put something back here in the event that while I'm racing someone hits the back of the vehicle. I'd rather have this small bumper off the back to help protect the body, keep the body from getting sucked into the tires. So this is the minimal rear bumper and body mount assembly. I just kind of slid all these parts together because it is fairly complex. Basically, it's going to mount in here like this. And so that's our bumper disassembled. This piece is going to come in over top of the transmission, and it actually provides part of the transmission mounting assembly. This longer screw here passes through this, passing through the transmission that it straddles over, and then into the motor mounting plate. That's why this didn't get put into this hole was left empty during the transmission assembly. So this just gets slid into place. And this is going to need a little bit of blue Loctite on the end of it. So this little spacer right here goes in between those two arms. And you just press that in. And that's going to slide in there. And this long screw, and there is a 5mm bolt that will go in on the other side. And so these are for this is for your two body pins. That just attaches here. This drops in. This is a very intricate piece of engineering here, but it looks like it's got a lot of merit because you can, break one or two of these things and you're, from a impact point, and you're not necessarily going to have any effect on the body mounts. I recommend that you always check your lengths of your screws against the instructions. That way you know which screws you need for which steps. Okay, one rear bumper in place. I just need to put that bolt on there. You don't need to worry about overly tightening that. Just get it nice and snug. It's a nylon lock nut. You don't want to try to overly compress that. It's very soft plastic. As long as I was assembling the rear body mounts and bumper, I thought I'd jump ahead past the shock absorber build and do the front body mount and then the side guards. In bag E, you're going to find these two slightly smaller screws, and those are going to attach that front body mount. And they are 1.5s. Now, because those are such small screws, you do not want to over tighten them. Just want to make sure that you're anchoring this on, because you don't want to pull these little screws through the plastic. Okay, there we are. You've got 4 screws and 4 lock nuts. Those go right in here. You'll notice that on these arms, on one side, they've got hexes, and the other side, they've just got little depressions for the screws to go into. On this one, I'm pressing these in first, since they snug in. A little easier to get them started, probably. Now, once these are tight, I'd back them off just a little bit, because the whole point of these bars is that they can take a hit, and that's why they're on pivots. The lock nuts will prevent these screws from coming out, so loosening them up about 1/4 of a turn, 1/2 a turn once they're tight, so that, as you can see, those arms can rotate now. They can take a bit of a bump.